Q4985. If you enter VMC while on an IF or flight plan, you must A. Report VF or conditions to ATC. B. Request clearance for VFR on top. C. See and avoid other traffic. The correct answer is C. If you enter VMC while on an IF or flight plan, you must see and avoid other traffic. You do not need to report VF or conditions to ATC or request clearance for VFR on top. According to the FAA's Aeronautical Information Manual, AIM, when an IF or flight plan is in effect, the pilot in command is solely responsible for maintaining terrain clearance and must see and avoid other traffic. The AIM also states that VF or flight in VF or conditions on an IF or flight plan is not recommended because the pilot is not in contact with ATC and may not be aware of traffic in the area. If you are unsure of whether or not you can maintain terrain clearance or see and avoid other traffic, you should contact ATC and request a VF or flight plan amendment or cancellation. 4088. Which publication covers the procedures required for aircraft accident and incident reporting responsibilities for pilots? A. FAR Part 61. B. FAR Part 91. C. NTSB Part 830. The correct answer is C. Regulations under NTSB Part 830 cover notice and reporting of aviation-related mishaps and delays, as well as the preservation of wreckage, mail, freight, and records. 4079. Which sources of aeronautical information, when used collectively, provide the latest status of airport conditions, e.g., runway closures, runway lighting, snow conditions? A. Aeronautical Information Manual, aeronautical charts, and distant D. Notice to Air Missions, NOTAMs. B. Chart Supplements US and FDC NOTAMs. C. Chart Supplements US and Distant D. NOTAMs. The correct answer is C. The Chart Supplements US and Distant D. NOTAMs provide the latest status of airport conditions, such as runway closures, runway lighting, and snow conditions. The Aeronautical Information Manual, AIM, provides general information about aeronautical navigation and procedures. It is not updated as frequently as the Chart Supplements US and Distant D. NOTAMs, so it is not the best source of information about airport conditions. The aeronautical charts provide a visual representation of the airspace and terrain. They can be used to plan a flight and to identify potential hazards. However, they do not provide information about the current status of airport conditions. The Distant D. NOTAMs are distributed by the FAA to provide information about significant changes to the National Airspace System, NAS. They include information about airport closures, runway lighting, and snow conditions. The Chart Supplements US are published by the FAA and provide detailed information about airports in the United States. They include information about runway lengths, widths, and lighting, as well as information about taxiways, aprons, and other airport facilities. By using the Chart Supplements US and Distant D. NOTAMs together, pilots can obtain the latest information about airport conditions. This information can be used to make informed decisions about flight planning and execution. 4080. What is the purpose of FDC NOTAMs? A. To provide the latest information on the status of navigation facilities to all FSS facilities for scheduled broadcasts. B. To issue notices for all airports and navigation facilities in the shortest possible time. C. To advise of changes in flight data which affect Instrument Approach Procedure, IAP, aeronautical charts, and flight restrictions prior to normal publication. The correct answer is C. FDC NOTAMs are regulatory in nature and include information like updates to currently published IAPs and other aeronautical charts. Additionally, They are used to publicize temporary flight limitations brought on by events like natural catastrophes or sizable gatherings of people that could produce an air traffic jam over a particular location. 4406. From what source can you obtain the latest FDC NOTAMs? A. Notice to Air Missions Publications. B. FAAFSS/FSS. C. Chart Supplements US. The correct answer is B. The FAAFSS/FSS is the best source for obtaining the latest FDC NOTAMs. The AFSS/FSS is a network of flight service stations that provides a variety of services to pilots, including weather briefings, flight planning assistance, and FDC and OTAM dissemination. FDC NOTAMs are also available from the FAA's website, but they may not be as up-to-date as the information available from the AFSS/FSS. Chart Supplements US does not contain FDC NOTAMs. It is a publication that provides detailed information about airports in the United States. It includes information about runway lengths, widths, and lighting, as well as information about taxiways, aprons, and other airport facilities. Here are some other sources where you can obtain FDC NOTAMs. FAAN OTAM Broadcast Service, MBS. FAA Aeronautical Information Network, AVAN. FAA website,